Welcome back to Fast Market, everyone. Kevin Hinks back here with Alex Coffey for our cash tag segment. Now I'd like to bring in the co-founder of LikeFolio.com, Mr. Andy Swan, to the show. Andy, welcome to the show. We're doing home improvement retailers, Andy, and the big dog in this fight is Home Depot. You've got data. This is really, Andy, in essence, a fight over, when you think about Home Depot and Lowe's, it's really it's a David and Goliath fight, isn't it? Because Home Depot dominates this, even though Lowe's has made a little headway, but this is a fight over the professional contractor, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, if it's a fight over the professional contractor, then Home Depot, wins walking away. There's no question about that.
Yes.
This is one of those kind of pair trade opportunities I think we've been talking about with you guys and to your audience for quite a while here. Really like Home Depot quite a bit more than Lowe's. So far it's playing out nicely in the market, and LikeFolio data shows that should continue. When we look at kind of the macro trends involved in this, people are not buying homes right now. They're not renovating the homes that they have. They're the ability to tap into that HELOC or buy a new home has gotten a lot more expensive with interest rates. So that's kind of dried up. And so that was a driving force of people doing renovations themselves or home improvement themselves. One of the reasons people walk in to a Lowe's, maybe a little bit more than a Home Depot. But what they are doing, if they need to do something, is they're hiring a professional, hiring a contractor, seeing growth in that sector. And that completely benefits Home Depot over Lowe's. And we really see it play out. When we look at the two companies on what we call our outlier grid, where we kind of plot the two companies in terms of consumer demand growth and consumer happiness on one chart. And what that shows us is that Home Depot just is beating Lowe's in both categories. They've got happier customers and they've got more consumer demand growth than Lowe's. And so we expect that to continue. Home Depot just kind of pulling away from Lowe's in terms of this battle for market share. And, it may be a declining industry, I think, probably for both in 2023. But, if you like to stay market neutral, we continue to like the, plus Home Depot minus Lowe's kind of pair trade concept.
Andy, long time no talk, and I'm glad that you brought it to this particular chart that we have up on the screen, because this is what stuck out to me when I was looking at the few that you've sent over here to go over. Obviously, the y-axis is the happiness, somewhat in line. You can tell Home Depot is doing a little bit better. Home Depot's circle is bigger. We'd expect that. We know it's a bigger company. That's not all that interesting. What's interesting is no two companies are more alike in my mind than Home Depot and Lowe's. And the macro environment they're navigating is the same one. There has to be an explanation on a micro front that would cause this. This is not a statistical situation where it just happens. This is an outlier situation, Andy, where you have companies that basically have the exact same business, operate the same way, are completely going different directions. You talked about the contractor customer mix. Is that it solely? Is it that easy to explain, or is there more going on here?
No, I think that is it, but I do think that part of it is almost a reversion to the mean, because for a while there we saw Lowe's really, absolutely dominating in terms of the individual home renovation type of person. They were hitting Lowe's. The marketing with Lowe's was resonating with them far more than it was at Home Depot. And I think really this is a story of Home Depot kind of catching back up, which makes it on a year-over-year basis outperforming significantly. And so I think that's what has happened. I think Home Depot has gotten a lot better at messaging to that individual homeowner to come on into the store, and that's who we're hearing from. They just simply prefer the Home Depot experience more than the Lowe's experience. And that is a shift. That's a big shift from where it was just a few years ago.
Yeah, Andy, I think it's interesting that even though Home Depot dominates the professional market, they still spent $11 billion last year to come up with a buy online, pick it up at the store kind of business model to attract even more of those customers. They keep adapting to the new environment that we find ourselves. And this stock, with the S&P 500 up 1.4% the second half of last year, this stock was up 15% the second half of last year. Even though everyone thinks the economy and housing is going to slow, their same-store sales ticked slightly higher over the last year. So this company continues to perform even with a slowing economy, even with a slowing housing market. And you're right, it was kind of like, I'll give you the analogy. When Louisville plays a poorer basketball team in basketball, they might hang around for a little while. They may put up a good fight, but eventually the dominant player is going to beat them most of the time. And that's what's happening. Marvin Ellison came to Lowe's and started to close the gap ever so slightly, but now it looks like it's gone right back to where it was, with Home Depot in a dominant position, Andy.
Yeah, Kevin, I have to tell you, your analogy skills are falling off a little bit. Apparently, you're not following Louisville basketball this year. I think the team is 2-12, one of the worst teams out there. Yeah, but what you're saying is right. It won't last. Look, it won't last. And the deal is, Home Depot, you cited all these headwinds. The economy, housing market, all these headwinds. Another headwind Home Depot is overcoming is less people coming into the store. They're getting much more out of each and every visitor than they were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It tells me that they've really figured out that in-store and online shopping experience in a way that has caught them up or allowed them to surpass Lowe's in terms of the individual homeowner experience. They've got the contractors kind of locked down, but it's the everyday man going in there that Home Depot has really stepped up their game, and it's paying big dividends.
Andy, one last thing before we say goodbye to you. We're looking at 90-day data, so this is pretty quick, and it's moving pretty fast for the most part. Not so fast that it's all over the place, but what are you looking for to see this trade's maybe played out, or this is coming back to normalization a little bit? Because it looks like it's still diverged about as far as I can imagine it ever gets.
Yeah, I think that we'll really know a lot more in about 3 months. That is a huge season for, homeowners and do-it-yourself renovators coming into these stores. As we get into spring, the Memorial Day sales are huge for a reason. And so we'll continue to watch the data at that point. But for now, we continue to like the trade that's working, and that is, plus Home Depot minus Lowe's.
Andy, I was going to say Notre Dame versus Navy, but I tried to give you a Louisville analogy, right. And clearly you're right. I need to
Georgia
step
TCU,
up on my
Kev.
college
Georgia
TCU.
References.
Yes.
Georgia TCU.
Yeah, that would have been a better one. You're right, Alex. That was a better one. Boy, that game was over pretty quick, wasn't it? All right, Andy Swan, thank you for coming on, as always, with your data from LikeFolio.com. As always, have a great day, Andy.
You too. Thanks.
All right.